Hello everyone, it's Charlton. Please subscribe to my channel, tap the notification bell, like this video. That helps me to keep making videos. I'd appreciate it majorly. So this poor couple that was killed a little over a week ago. It was Monday morning. They were found the 15th, July 15th, along a highway at the Alaska Highway in northern British Columbia. I believe near a tourist destination, the Liard Hot Springs, but a fairly remote location, far from any major city. And I think they were broken down along the side of the road, and I believe some witnesses had seen them speaking to a bearded man, and the police have released a sketch of this man who they want to speak to. They obviously don't know his identity. I think more than one person observed them talking with them, maybe arguing with this man. And I also saw reports. I'm not going to read through everything of this Daily Mail report and the embassy report of one of the windows in the van that they were traveling in. You know, they were basically on a road trip. They were very experienced travelers. This young couple, the girl is from America. Her name is China Deese, and Lucas Fowler is from Australia. But they had traveled the world together, I think, for the last few years, and just were very avid travelers and experienced travelers. I mean, their family members say that even though they're just an extremely loving couple, they were totally in love and just, but very sweet people. But at the same time, they were very experienced, and they wouldn't have been caught off guard by somebody. So supposedly they were seen arguing with this man along the highway, and their bodies were found not far, I think like 20 feet or something like that, maybe a little bit more, shot from the van along the highway. And this, like I said, was the 15th, just over a week ago. 5 days, and then 5 days after that incident, um, there was another incident in northern British Columbia that was still a fair distance away from them, but the public is wondering whether the two crimes are connected because it happened along a different highway, another remote highway in northern British Columbia, where a man's body was found, I think, from a burning pickup truck, and two teenagers, an 18-year-old and a 19-year-old, were driving who were supposed to be whose pickup truck it was. These two individuals here are missing, and the man's body is not one of the two persons. So, I mean, basically, many reporters are asking the authorities, were these two murders, and the man's body, who was found near the burning pickup truck, hasn't been identified yet. Even though they know for certain he's not one of these two persons because he's like 50 to 60 years old, he's white male. They actually released a sketch of him, although it's not here in the Daily Mail piece, nor is it in the NBC report. But they're actually asking for the public's help in identifying the individual. So, like I said, reporters are clamoring to find out whether or not these two murders are connected, and whether or not I mean, the first thing that pops into many people's minds is is there a serial killer out there or something? Is that what this is that what the nature of this is? So, but I was watching this press conference here, and I'm not going to play the whole thing. Actually, the father of Lucas Fowler, the Australian man from New South Wales, I believe it is, um, his father's a police officer, and so that is his father giving a press conference right there. He's originally from, I think, Sydney's Australia. I believe is in South Wales. I believe New South Wales is similar to like a state or a province in Canada. He's obviously destroyed, but he, at the same time, being an experienced police officer, he understands, how these investigations work. That's the couple there. And by all accounts, they were just completely like the perfect fit for each other, completely in love and just enjoying life, being young and traveling the world. But so when I was watching this press conference here, this police officer um, was saying that right now there was nothing to indicate that the two crimes were connected. But I did see another press conference of a different police officer saying they might be, and because they are at a great distance from each other. I mean, over in the NBC report, the murder of the man who hasn't been identified, who was located next to the burning pickup truck with the two missing teenagers, the 18-year-old and the 19-year-old, that was 300 miles from where the couple, the American girl and the Australian man, were killed. So they are a distance from each other, but they're both in northern British Columbia. And the fact that you have two homicides of this nature, or I'm sorry, three, in northern British Columbia is unusual. And so people are wondering, and they were both along remote highways, so they're wondering if there's some kind of serial killer out there. The two teenagers are identified, and they're still missing, and the authorities want to speak to them as well as the individual, who they released the sketch of, the bearded man, who was last seen speaking to the couple that were killed. But they just don't know if they're alive or not. The two teenagers, and that's the Daily Mail is clogging up my computer. Sorry. So the one on the left is Cam McLeod, and the one on the right there is Briar Smigelski. I think the dude on the left is 18 and the dude on the right is 19, as I understand it. And that's the pickup truck that was on fire not far from where the man who hasn't been identified was killed. But like I said, they ruled out the man being one of the teenagers. They described him as being white and aged 50 to 60 years old. But there was a number of witness accounts. So a passerby saw Mr. Fowler, that's the Australian man, this individual here, talking to a bearded man who police want to speak to, but say is not a suspect. A road worker, Alondra Hull, told the Nine Network she saw Mr. Fowler and Miss Deese, China Deese, the girl, on the highway the night before they were found dead, talking to a bearded man who kind of looked frustrated or something. 5 days after the couple was found dead, police found a body near a burning pickup truck 470 kilometers away. So, as I said, the authorities want to speak to this man, and they've put this photo out there, hopefully to identify him and asking for the public's help, as well as they seem to. It says the Royal Canadian Mounted Police said the man was driving a Jeep Cherokee with a black stripe on the bonnet. I don't know how they would know that, but they apparently do. So, and they have not indicated how the other man that was killed 5 days later, near the burning pickup truck with that belonged to the two teenagers that are now missing, how he was killed. And reporters were on Monday peppering the officers with questions about that and whether there's a possible linkage between that death and the couple that was killed. On Monday, officers said it is possible the death was linked and were barraged with questions by journalists. Why can't you give us an indication of how he died? One reporter asked. The public is wondering what is going on. They're not getting answers from you. Why can't you give us an idea about whether there is a linkage? Is there a serial killer? People have a right to know. Despite the questioning, police refused to say if the third man found dead was murdered. But you have a dead man and two missing, and two missing teenagers, an 18-year-old and 19-year-old. And I think I had that backwards, but in terms of which one was 18 and 19, Cam McLeod, is that his name? Cam McLeod, and Briar Smigelski. So then it goes on to tell of the witness account of the bearded man in a little bit more detail here. The couple that was found killed, the American girl or young lady and her Australian boyfriend, the pair were only 2 days into their 10-day journey around the northwest of the country when they were killed after their van reportedly broke down. Road worker Alondra Hull told 9 News she saw the couple in a heated exchange with a bearded man. She said the couple seemed bothered by the exchange and the man had approached them from his gray car. Another road worker and medic named Trevor, who found the couple after they had been shot, said the back right window of the couple's van was smashed. And it actually says here of um, another person who saw them along the road and actually offered to help. But I believe he, after quitting high school, I think in 10th grade, became an apprentice to be an auto mechanic. So I think he was pretty skilled in fixing his own vehicle. That's what I think. So, but it says a couple who drove by offering to help said Fowler told them they did not need help with their broken down van. The passerby said the gentleman insisted that they were okay and that he didn't need our help, and that in the same day somebody so evil would do something so horrific to them. That's just terrible. Mr. Fowler from Northwest Sydney dropped out of school in year 10 to become an apprentice mechanic before he left Australia to travel the world. So that's pretty much what the situation is so far. And you have 3 unsolved deaths and two other people missing on 2 different remote highways in northern British Columbia within the span of 5-6 days. And that's the story there, man. All right, well, thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.